Shalom, brothers and sisters. Is your brother Yazriela from the Northern Kingdom, bringing some edification for you Negro, Latino, and Indigenous who are the biblical Israelites. And before we start, we're going to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, Bakakedash, that Yahweh, being the name of the Lord, not Jehovah, or God, or Yah, or Ahaya, it's Yahweh, the creator of all, the Ancient of Days. Bahasham is in the name of, and Yahweh Shai is the one you guys call Jesus or the Christ, signally speaking. And we give double honors to our elders in GMS, where we learn this truth. Shalom to the apostles, the bishops, and to the men down in the highways and byways, giving the 100% truth. Shalom to you. And shalom to the Labakarium, which is the elect in the Hebrew of the nation of Israel. They're about to be saved. The house of David. Shalom to you. And shalom to the speckled birds that are among the heathen nations, that look like the heathen nations, but have the bloodline of Israel, that are returning to their God, to their heritage, and to their people. Shalom to you. So, as you see here, the date today, Salakia, it is January 2nd of 2025. According to Esau's calendar, we are in that year. But we, as Israelites, know that the new year for us is during the Passover, which is from March to April. Okay? Just so they know that. But we are in captivity, so we have to follow these people. But just we know that this is not the actual new year. That we don't bow down to Janus or anything like that. But as we told you, 2025 went out with a bang. Literal bang. So if you've been watching the news, you should know who these individuals are. And if you don't know, there was so-called terrorist attacks in what you would call New Orleans, Bourbon Street. Very familiar. I actually used to spend a lot of time there, because I lived in Louisiana for many years. And I would spend a lot of time because that's where all the clubs, that's where all the concerts were at. And I was there right after 9/11. Because the Super Bowl was there. And I had, I was going to a club to see a DJ at that time. And of course, you buy the tickets before then this happened. So, you know, but the eerie thing was the people that were going to the Super Bowl, you couldn't park within 5 miles of the stadium. It was like you had to park and walk. It's like, and there were soldiers everywhere. There was armored vehicles. There was a very eerie quietness of it. But nonetheless, I was there and I saw this, and I'm very familiar with the area. And New Year's is actually very big, just like people going to New York City. It's that big there as well. It's actually bigger than Mardi Gras, believe it or not. And so there's a lot of people, so it's a very prime target. Like I said, I myself don't like being among big crowds. I avoid big crowds. But nonetheless, the individual on the left was involved in that. Individual on the right was involved in the attack in Las Vegas. But it was just, which there's a lot of coincidences. There's a connection between the two. They both are stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And Fort Bragg has a long history. If you know the series of the movie Rambo, he was trained at Fort Bragg, right? Because that's where special forces are trained. The Army Special Forces, which I believe Rambo was Green Beret, which is the guy on the right. He's a Green Beret, Special Forces. And I don't know a lot about the guy on the left, but nonetheless, they are both stationed at this base, okay? Which is, they changed the name of Fort Bragg. Now it's Fort Liberty. But nonetheless, coincidences, the fact that they both rented electric cars for the same company, right? So, you know, we're just making you aware that this is the Lord is doing. Even if Esau did it, the Lord is behind it all always. Okay, because He giveth life and He giveth death. He bringeth up from the dunghill, right? So, before we start, I want to go into fair use. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which does not infringe on the copyright under 17 USC 107, because I had a video and they just blocked it, the copyright. You couldn't watch it. But anyways, you always got to try to protect yourself, because Esau is hurt and so much truth is coming out that he's like the Dutch boy putting his thumb on the dam and can't hold it up all back. So we're going to start this video and get some understanding what happened yesterday, so-called New Year's, on this event.
Is there a connection? The two men who carried out the New Year's Day attacks share several striking similarities. Both are Army vets reportedly deployed to the same Army base, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, now known as Fort Liberty. Both chose to act on New Year's Day within hours of each other. Both drove electric trucks, and they rented them from the same car rental app, Turo.
There are so many things that are crisscrossing. These are coincidences that really should cause pause.
If these turned out to be simply similarities, very strange similarities to have.
Right, because remember, these guys are special forces. They train all the time, and they train to the minute. So there's something going on here, right? I'm sure it's going to come out, but nonetheless, there's no connections between these two individuals yet, and that's what they're telling you.
But today, the FBI says they have yet to find a connection.
At this point, there is no definitive link.
The surprise attacks came after a night of joyous national celebrations welcoming in the new year. Cops have named the Vegas suspect as Matthew Livelsberger, a 37-year-old Green Beret on leave from active duty in Germany. We found this video of Livelsberger and his ex-wife Sarah, a social worker, waiting at an airport for a red-eye flight to New York in 2016.
Far away.
Police say Livelsberger drove 12 hours through the night.
So there you see, he rented that vehicle, it was not his, and then he drove it to Las Vegas. I believe he's had to stop and charge it twice. It's this 12-hour distance. And like you see, it's weird. Why did they rent an electric vehicle? But he was trying to make, I guess he's trying to make a statement, because Elon Musk is big buddies with Trump, right? So we'll see.
From his home in Colorado Springs to Las Vegas, stopping twice to recharge the truck's battery. The interior of the Tesla Cybertruck is like no other vehicle on the road. You are surrounded by glass, and the steering wheel is rectangular shaped. The monitor here controls everything with a touch screen, and it's pretty comfortable and easy to drive. Cops say that the suspect drove around Vegas for an hour before pulling up outside the Trump International Hotel. New surveillance video released today shows the suspect arriving in Las Vegas and driving up to the hotel. He was parked for just 17 seconds before cops say he detonated the homemade bomb in the trunk. It was made from gas canisters and large fire.
And somebody that's trained, like special forces are trained, they know that this kind of small explosives ain't gonna do major damage. So I don't know what he was trying to prove. Somebody with his background would know how to make a bigger improvised explosive that could bring half of that building down. So the fact that he just went with gasoline and fireworks just doesn't add up. Just it seems like an amateur would do this. Like you said, soldiers are suffering from PTSD and all kinds of stuff. So we can't say what this individual had in mind, but the Lord used them anyways, right?
Works. This is where the explosives were stored, in the bed of the truck, and because it's built like a tank, the explosion was contained, directing the blast upwards. Remarkably, the explosion...
And he would have known that, okay? He would have known that. These people deal with shape charges and things to build up buildings, doors, and they're very familiar with a shape charge. He got a shape charge, so... This is just, I don't know. This is not just making any sense, but...
Did little damage to the glass lobby of the Trump Hotel. The Cybertruck itself was engulfed in flames, but was left pretty much intact. Tesla boss Elon Musk proudly boasted. The evil knuckleheads picked the wrong...
Yeah, and for him chiming in like that is just, again, poor character. But nonetheless... We'll go to this verse, okay? 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 18. And it said, Behold, the day comes that I will begin to draw nigh, that will come close, to visit them that dwell upon the earth. So, the Lord is visiting the earth, and He's using His angels, okay? Because He's got angels on the right-hand side, and angels of the left-hand side, demons, right? And He could possess anybody and make them do whatever He wants. So this is what's happening as we speak. These events that are happening are not just coincidence, because 2025 is going to be a bang-up year. Remember, this is what a lot of us have been waiting for, the end of the world, okay? This is the hopeful year of our salvation, according to Elder Tahar. This is our hopeful year of our salvation and the destruction of Esau. So, a very important year for the nation of Israel to continue to pray, to continue to fast, to continue to have faith, to do the law, statutes, and commandments, and be aware and watch. You know, if the energy of somebody doesn't seem right, just walk away. Step away, or whatever you have to do. Be aware. Keep your head on a swivel, because the days are coming that all these nations, how they really feel, is going to come out. The horns of these people are going to come out, because remember, we are the chosen people, and all these nations hate us. We're going to be playing it on a target on our back, whether you believe in this or not. And so Jacob's trouble's coming, according to Jeremiah 30:7. Like a day like no other. So, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Brakatham, Rakakadash, and we give double honors to elders and GMS. We learn this truth. Shalom to the apostles, the bishops, and to the men down on the highways and byways. Giving the 100% truth. Shalom to you. He that have ears, let him hear. Shalom.